All right. Hey, welcome everyone to the SMA live stream for this Wednesday. Actually, I believe this is Tuesday. Oh no, actually, the week's going by pretty quick. Welcome everyone to this Wednesday's edition of the SMA live stream. Today is Wednesday, June 3rd, 2020, and we are in the last week of the official school year. Just wanted to welcome everybody. Thanks for sticking with us for the school year, especially over the last month and a half. We've still been trying to put out as much content, out there to keep our parent community, students, alumni, and everybody up to date with everything that we got going on over at SMA. As you can see, we tried to have some consistency. Ms. Diag has been doing her best to go ahead and get those emails out, on a weekly basis or on a, weekly, almost bi-weekly basis to ensure that communication between parents and the teachers and the administration staff is there, ever since we switched over to the distance learning model. We're going to touch on two things. Obviously, if you saw the event posted on Instagram, we set up the Facebook, countdown or timer for this coming live show. And one of the things that we did a little bit differently was we picked a customized thumbnail, and we did that with intention and with purpose. And the reason we did that was because it is the last week. We wanted to really highlight in all the little ways that we could, because we know it's not exactly the same, but we're trying to put that effort and that intention out there. That congratulations to our amazing class of 2020 for our 8th graders. I was fortunate enough in and out of work meetings and everything like that to be able to pop into some of the 8th grade graduate profile presentations that they were doing online through our through our distance learning tools with our Google Meets. We had a couple of parents on some sessions join, so that if they were able to join, they were able to do that. Big thank you so much to Mr. Palacios and Ms. Escalante for facilitating that. I know that Ms. Diag and Deacon Carl jumped on, a couple of them actually yesterday as well. But huge congratulations, of presenting those different aspects of what each of you as graduates have taken away from your experience here at St. Michael Academy. For a lot of you, it's been since preschool, since you were a little student over at St. Michael Academy Preschool on the other corner or other side of the parking lot. And for some of you, you joined a little bit later, a little bit after, or some of you joined, maybe in middle school. Either way, no matter what, whether it's some years or a lot of years, the fact is this: you're a member of the St. Michael Academy family. And with that, you also become a St. Michael Academy alumni. And what does that come with? That comes with lifetime relationships and bonds of people before you and after you, and with your current class, that you take with yourselves, so that when, if there's support that's needed, either personally, in work, in faith, and all your endeavors that you do, you're not alone in, going through that. Because number one, you're anchored in your faith. We got to see a lot of the reports, and one of those things that each one of you, there's an aspect of that is in your graduate profile. A lot of you talked about so many different examples of how your faith has anchored you, and you've grown in your faith formation here at the Academy. So that's huge, real huge. And one of the things that kind of was added onto your graduate profile that was pretty awesome, and I'll, I'll paraphrase what Ms. Escalante and Mr. Palacios stated, is a lot of you guys have started your altruism projects, and they really can make a difference, because you're able to, take this extra time of, being at home under the stay-at-home orders over the last, 2.5 months. And you guys actually have a foundation to, as things open up, as we begin to normalize and get out there, and most importantly, as you mature and grow in your life, um, as they have reminded you, you can use that in so many different ways to create, positive platforms that help people, that help in a life of service, that make an impact where if you use that, you can, you know, blend together so many resources because of what you've already started. So as they've mentioned to you, don't take it for granted. Actually, take note of what you've actually built, because you may think it's nothing of nothing, you know, that big, but really it's just the seed. And just like anything, everything always starts from like little seedlings, and there's always that potential to grow. So please don't forget that. Now we're moving on to the next topic. That's for everybody who's returning to St. Michael Academy, and if there's any prospective families who are looking at our content, hearing the news, maybe they're watching the virtual streaming masses, on Saturdays or on Sundays, and that they put out there with our St. Michael Catholic parish. But the next topic that I want to just touch on, transitioning from our amazing 8th grade announcements, definitely for the entire school, we want you to look out for your email, because we have that end of year event going on. So Ms. Diag sent an email earlier this week about what the details of that activity is gonna, all the details in that email of what's to happen, the logistics and all that stuff. So please check your email for an email from her this week regarding the end of year activities for the entire school. And then the last thing is, want to just kind of reiterate a super amazing kudos to Ms. Diag and Mrs. Lewis in the office. They've been working every single day to make the parents' experience for our returning families that much better. We've already had I touched base with Miss Lewis earlier this week. We've probably had over, I think, 9 to 10 submitted applications, and these weren't how we've normally done it for the last 10 to 15 years with paper packets, where they're stapled together with a bunch of different pieces of paper, different colors for different forms, and you have to fill everything out. No, these re-enrollments, they were submitted electronically using the same family GradeLink login profile that they used to, that our families use to, keep tabs on their children's work, see their child or children's report cards or grade status, or communicate with their teacher. That same electronic form, there's just one extra button. It says enroll me or re-enroll. It's on the side, and it walked them through a super straightforward series of pages that as you move along it's saving your progress, so that way, should something happen, like you lose internet connection, your device powers off, you don't have enough battery power, you can continue right where you left off. And what's the end goal? Does it provide you a really seamless, straightforward experience of entering in the information that you would normally handwrite in paper, and then that gets that into the GradeLink database for St. Michael Academy. Where that really impacts you as a family, where you may not know that, is the earlier that you get that in before the deadline that Ms. Diag and Ms. Lewis mentioned in the email that they sent out about re-enrolling electronically online, is that gives them a lot better idea to focus on staffing, resources, planning for the upcoming school year. So the sooner that you can do that, as we approach into the weekend, if that's a better time for each one of you, because we understand a lot of our families are still working. Many prayers, many blessings. Thank you to all of our parents who are working out there, who are having to go out in the front lines and do all that stuff. Our blessings and prayers are with you, and thank you so much for everything that each one of you are doing in each of your roles right now. So if the weekend or the nighttime is what works best for you, no problem. We just wanted to make things easier for you so that it's one less big set of papers that you need to go complete. You can do it from the comfort of your phone, your tablet, or a computer. You just need to actually use the web browser on your phone. So if you're on an iPhone, you can use the Safari browser. If you're on a Android phone, you can use like the Chrome browser that's built in, or vice versa. If you have any issues logging in, or if you forgot your family login profile, just go ahead and call the office at 619-470-4880, or you can email Mrs. Lewis for assistance on getting logged back into GrainLink. And once you do that, you can go ahead and complete that, really straightforward, the re-enrollment for St. Michael Academy, and that will definitely help out a lot of the, the staff and the decision makers for planning for this upcoming school year. So with that, that's the update for this week's live stream. Want to just thank everybody so much for sticking with us this whole school year. We know a lot of schools are putting out their messages and everything like that about how things were different, but to each and every one of you students, from kindergarten all the way through 8th grade, and for each and every one of you parents, where we may see you a lot during the school year, or we get to see you a little bit. Either way, thank you so much for being a part of this year's St. Michael Academy community. It's truly a blessing. So thank you so much. Have a great day. We'd love to get your comments. So for anybody who's filled out, if you filled out your re-enrollment and you're watching this, feel free to put in the comments your feedback. If you didn't like it, or if you liked it, if it was easy, we want to hear that. And also, if you're watching this live stream, and if you didn't get to watch the video that one of our former alumni, Ms. Samayo's daughter, who's currently in the United States Air Force, an officer, Jacqueline Samayo, thank you so much for making that video. Please, feel free to share that. It's a really awesome video, just showcases all our students. And what better way than an SMA alum and alumni to go make that video for our new alumni. So with that, closing out this week's live stream for SMA's live stream on Wednesday, June 3rd of 2020. God bless, take care, and we'll see you next time.